Lee Andrews has made plenty of requests during this extraordinary prison saga, but his latest reported idea may be the one that has left people genuinely speechless. Because according to new reports, Lee Andrews has allegedly suggested setting up a GoFundMe page to raise the £140,000 needed to help secure his release from prison. And the reaction has been immediate. Not sympathy, not support, disbelief. Because the question many people are asking tonight is brutally simple. Who exactly is supposed to donate? More on that in a moment. Because this latest twist doesn't just raise questions about Lee Andrews. It raises questions about whether he has any understanding at all of how the public currently sees him. If you're enjoying the video, don't forget to subscribe, because this story somehow manages to get stranger every single day. Let's start with the obvious. Crowdfunding campaigns work when people want to help, when they feel sympathy, when they believe in the cause, when they feel emotionally invested. People donate because they want somebody to succeed. People donate because they want somebody to recover. People donate because they want somebody to achieve something. But in this case, the public mood appears very different. After weeks of headlines, prison drama, missing person reports, travel ban revelations, allegations from former partners, and endless controversy, Lee Andrews has become one of the most talked about men in Britain. Unfortunately for him, not for the right reasons. Even Katie Price appears to recognize that reality. Because according to reports, when Lee allegedly floated the idea of a GoFundMe campaign, Katie's response was immediate. "No one will do that for you, Lee. Trust me, everyone hates you." That's a remarkable thing for a wife to say. Not because it's cruel, because it sounds honest, brutally honest. And perhaps that is what makes this latest development so fascinating. For the first time, Katie appears to be openly acknowledging just how toxic Lee's public image has become. There is another reason this story is attracting so much attention. The number. £140,000. That figure keeps returning, like a shadow hanging over the entire saga. The amount Katie says she was told would be required before Lee could secure his release. The amount she says she won't pay. And now, apparently, the amount Lee hopes somebody else might pay instead. It's difficult not to see why people are skeptical. Because if former partners are warning Katie not to give him money, if Katie herself says she'll never give him money, why would strangers reach for their wallets? That's the question people keep coming back to. There is another aspect that makes this story almost surreal. Think about where we are. A few months ago, most people had never heard of Lee Andrews. Then came the whirlwind romance, then the wedding, then the social media posts, then the disappearance, then the prison, then the allegations, then the meetings with former partners, then the £140,000, and now we're talking about crowdfunding. It's almost impossible to believe how quickly the story has escalated. Every time it seems to reach peak chaos, another chapter arrives. And somehow the next chapter is even stranger than the last. There is another thing worth noting. Katie says she will never give Lee money. Never. That feels important. Because throughout this entire saga, one criticism has followed her everywhere. People have worried she might eventually be persuaded to rescue him financially. People have worried she might ignore every warning. People have worried she might sacrifice everything for somebody she barely knew before marrying. Now she appears to be drawing a line, a very public line. Love? Maybe. Support? Possibly. Money? No. At least that's what she's saying today. And these days, today is an important word. Because if we've learned anything from this saga, it's that tomorrow often looks completely different. There is another fascinating contradiction at the heart of this story. Katie says her eyes have been opened. Katie says she has listened to warnings. Katie says she's prepared to walk away if she doesn't get answers. Yet Katie also says she loves Lee. Katie has put her wedding ring back on. Katie says she can't wait to see him. Those two realities continue to exist side by side. And perhaps that's why people remain so fascinated. Because they don't know which version wins, the skeptical Katie, or the loyal Katie, the woman investigating, or the woman in love. There is another uncomfortable question. Even if a GoFundMe page existed, would it raise anything meaningful? Because crowdfunding depends on goodwill. And goodwill appears to be in very short supply. The public has watched this story unfold in real time. They've watched the conflicting explanations. They've watched the mystery surrounding the disappearance. They've watched the prison revelations. They've watched former partners come forward. They've watched Katie fly across the world searching for answers. And many people have already reached their conclusions. Whether those conclusions are fair or unfair is another debate entirely. But they exist, which is why the idea of thousands of strangers donating money feels so unlikely. There is another reason this may prove to be a turning point. Because for the first time, Katie and Lee appear to be looking at the situation very differently. Lee reportedly believes a crowdfunding campaign could help. Katie reportedly believes nobody would support it. Those positions aren't just different, they're miles apart. One suggests optimism, the other suggests realism, and perhaps that tells us something about where Katie's thinking is heading. Because recent comments suggest she is becoming harder to convince. Not impossible to convince, but harder. The woman who rushed into a whirlwind romance appears to be asking tougher questions, demanding clearer answers, and setting firmer boundaries. That feels significant. There is another possibility worth considering. What if the GoFundMe idea isn't really about money at all? What if it's about validation? Because imagine being stuck in prison while the entire internet discusses your life. Imagine reading headlines describing you as one of Britain's most hated men. Imagine watching your reputation collapse. A successful crowdfunding campaign would be proof that people still believed in you. Proof that people still supported you. Proof that you weren't alone. The problem is that there is very little evidence such support exists. And that may be the harsh reality facing Lee Andrews tonight. So while a GoFundMe campaign might sound unbelievable today, with Katie Price and Lee Andrews, the impossible has become surprisingly normal. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, and let me know in the comments. Would anyone actually donate to a GoFundMe for Lee Andrews? Or is this the most tone-deaf idea we've heard so far in this extraordinary saga?